Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at the Wixco Scort, and that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry rotation. Now, I have 5 knives from Wixco, and this is the one that was provided to me for free. So there's 5 knives. I bought 4 of them with my own money, and then this one in particular was the one that I got for free. I got to pick one, and I like this one a lot. So I was like, you know what, let me get that one. I was going to buy it anyway. Now, this was designed and OEM'd by Monster, and Monster is the parent company to Wixco. So just like We has Civivi and Concept has Tenable, Monster has Wixco. Now, right out of the gate, I'm a really, really big fan of the overall aesthetic of this knife. If you subtract the flipper tab, a lot of premium custom knives have this general profile where it's thumb studs, an inlay, it's got this little bitty poon right here, and I'm easy. I mean, this general aesthetic on any knife, and I'm pretty much hooked. I just love it. But that aside, we've got aluminum handles with this really nice carbon fiber inlay. It's black with some purple hues. Hopefully you guys are picking that up. But it looks really nice. Really, really nice. We do have it on both sides. And we got a lot of purple down here by the clip. Yeah, looks really good. It is smooth, but there is some grippiness to it, which is excellent. That means that, you know, if you need to bear down on it and really lock your hand in, you can do that using this carbon fiber inlay. Now, we do have T8s throughout, except for the pocket clip. Those are T6s. And then this is a relatively deep carry stamped steel pocket clip. Non-reversible. I think one model has reversible clips. This isn't it. Now, as far as the ergonomics go, this handle has plenty of room. I'm noticing a formula with the Wixco knives. It is pretty much aluminum and or carbon fiber with 14C28N with a good heat treat, good ergonomics, and under $100 while maintaining as much style as they possibly can. And if you look at each of their knives, they follow that same formula. And I don't have a problem with that because their stuff certainly isn't boring, right? I mean, so far, while the aesthetic might not be for everybody, you can't say it's boring, you know, and I've certainly enjoyed the way their models have looked, including this one, but, you know, all the models have looked pretty darn cool as far as I'm concerned. So we have, no hot spots, super comfortable. We have functional jimping. This one does feel a little bit heavier, probably just because it's a larger knife than the other ones we've looked at, and we're just a tad butt heavy. Now, as far as the blade goes, we've got this really nice harpoon drop point. We have a black PVD coating, not paint like the other one was. We have a flat grind. All of their blades are flat grinds. And then, like I mentioned, 14C28N. Now, as far as the detent goes, something I've noticed is that we've got some double clutch. And what I mean whenever I say that is typically whenever you disengage, you move your finger out of the way and then the blade can drop. Well, this blade's not dropping. And the reason for that is at this point, we have it past the detent ball, which means the blade's just going to sit there. Now, that's not a big deal. That just means we have to let the blade fall a little bit further. And then we get this really nice, controlled, smooth drop shut. fantastic action on this. So as long as you're not as high as you can possibly be, right, as long as you let it get past this point, you're going to get that really nice drop shutty action. This one probably has my favorite action so far because the blade's heavy enough to pull itself down, but it's controlled enough that it's just a nice drop shut. Now, as far as the D10 strength, it's medium. And that's for the flipper and for the thumb stud. Now, me personally, I would do a flipper delete on this. And by doing a flipper delete, not only do you get a cleaner aesthetic, but you also get rid of that double clutch, because the reason you're running into it is because there's a flipper tab there that's catching you too early, right? If that wasn't there, though, you would just go right into this clean drop. Now, as far as the acoustics go, it's loud, but kind of dull. And that's because, we've got thick aluminum scales with carbon fiber inlays. Basically there's not a lot of room for the vibrations to travel, which is giving us kind of a dull tone. Now, the acoustics on the drop, however, is a little higher pitched, different resonance altogether, and I like it. And even on the way up, I still like it because it's like a cluchink or cluchunk. So overall, the acoustics are not jaw-dropping, but I would say they're pretty good. I mean, definitely a pass. Lock bar access is nice and easy because they've given us some extra space. They've milled this side out, so we've got extra room to get in here, and then they've chamfered this, so it's nice, comfy, easy. And while it's not a reversible clip, this could be manipulated pretty easily left-handed. So I would still say this is a lefty-friendly knife. All deployment methods are easy. Easy disengage. Now, their heat treat is 58 to 60 HRC. That's the same heat treat they have on all their knives. We're typically programmed to think anything below 60 is bad. But that's typically whenever we're talking about M390 or 20CV. It's not when we're talking about 14C28N. Now, optimally, you'd want to be at like 59 or 60, because that's going to be like striking the greatest balance of 14C28N's attributes. But even at 57, 58, you're still in an optimal range, right? Because according to my research, 57 to 61 is considered optimal. So even if you're on the lower end of that range, even if you're at 57 or 58, you're still going to be in good shape, and this knife is still going to do everything that it's supposed to do, which is going to be excellent toughness, excellent corrosion resistance. It does not have the best edge retention, so you're going to be sharpening it more often than not. But also, whenever you go to sharpen it, it's going to be pretty easy, right? So, all in all, it really depends on what you prioritize, but 14C is going to be the closest you can get to a premium steel or a super steel in the budget territory. I'm a huge fan of 14C28N. I've enjoyed using it in a majority of my knives that are under $100. So, to each their own, but I think 14C is an excellent choice, and I think they've got a good heat treat on their knives. Now, overall length, we're looking at 8.19 inches. We have a blade length of 3.62 inches, and that's giving us a blade to handle ratio of 0.79 or 79%. And if you look at it, we are starting to kind of get that Shirogorovi look where it looks like we're about 50-50, right? It looks like we're pretty close to even on the blade to handle ratio, and I love that. I I could almost care less what a knife looks like if it's striking a balance of like near 50-50, or at least to what looks like near 50-50. I'm in love. Absolutely fantastic. Now let's do a size comparison. We're going to go ahead and bust out the Civivi Altus. And the Altus is coming in. Actually, the way you guys see it is about what it is. It's coming in quite a bit shorter, like 1.5 inches. And then the real steel Sylph. And the Sylph is coming in about the same, maybe 1.25 inches shorter. So, I mean, this is a full-size knife. These obviously aren't. But this is, 8+ inches. So it's going to feel nice and robust in hand. As far as the weight goes, you're looking at 4.09 ounces. So it's definitely going to have the weight to back up that robustness. But, at 4 ounces, for some people that might be heavy, but considering the length of it, it doesn't feel like it's overly heavy for the size of the knife, right? I mean, that feels about right. Now, with Wixco, we've talked about a few of their knives, and everyone's got a different definition of what they call budget. I would say the most popular definition, because of Metal Complex, is going to be $75, and I think that's fair. I think a reasonable person would say if it's under $75 and you value knives in general, you would say that's budget territory. If you don't value knives at all, you're going to think, $15 is too much. But if you value knives, I think we can mostly agree that under $75 is budget, above it, not so much. So this specific configuration of this knife comes in at $99. That is not quite budget territory. However, for every option of knife that they have, I think all of their models have one that's right around between $95 and $99. But they also have options that are more budget oriented. So there's a version of this that is right around $69. And that's before you factor in my discount code S7, right? Just the letter S and the number 7, which is going to take 10% off, which is going to take that $69 down to about 62 and some change. So you're looking at $62. And what's cool about the budget version of this is it's still all blacked out, but it's got a steel inlay that's bronzed and hand rubbed. So it doesn't even look like it's a budget version. As a matter of fact, it actually looks more premium than this, which I thought is cool. Now, obviously, it's using steel, so it's going to have a little more heft behind it. But the fact that it's hand rubbed and the fact that they bronzed it is pretty freaking sweet. Now, when you factor all that, the style, the materials, the extra effort they put into it, for 62 and some change, a hell of a deal. They have another one that is $99, and then after the discount, right around like $90. It's got like a gold shred carbon fiber, and then it's like got this kind of yellow gold anodized aluminum. Really cool looking. So there's a price point for everyone. There's a style for everyone. And it's just really nice to see these, like any company can deliver materials like these materials under $100. Any company could do it, right? 14C28N aluminum under $100. You're not knocking anybody's socks off with that alone. But what these guys are doing is they're not neglecting that style element, right? Because you can okay, I love the Sylph. Love it. This is one of my favorite budget knives. It feels great. super snappy, Nitro V steel, and this is right around $54. But there wasn't a lot of effort put into just making it look great. Now, I happen to love plain Jane, right? So to me, this looks great. But for some people, this is going to be super boring. And the fact that for an extra, what, $8, $10, you can get something that looks way more stylish, I would say that's a pretty tremendous value. Now, if you're pure utility, I mean, because the carbon fiber doesn't make it more functional, right? The black PVD doesn't make it cut better. You know what I'm saying? If you're pure utility, real steel silk all day. Nitro V is a great steel, right? But if you want a little bit of extra sauce, spend the extra $10, right? Get the Wixco. You know what I'm saying? So, is this something I would carry? Obviously, absolutely. The profile and the action alone would be enough to make me carry it. I like the size, I like the looks, I like the action. The double clutch is a little annoying until you realize that all you have to do is let it drop, a tenth of an inch further, and then you get great action. But like right out of the box, if you do this and you're stuck, that can be a little annoying. But I've already given that feedback to Wixco, and they said that they're going to update that for future iterations. And all they have to do is slide the detemp ball forward a little bit. That's it. That'll fix it. But like I said, if you're super trendy and smart like me, I'm kidding, I'm not that smart, but you'll do a flipper delete on this sucker and really be popping. And then that double clutch will be no more. Now, as much as I like this piece, is this something I would add to my permanent collection? No. For me, this is well into budget territory. So this is not the type of knife that I would permanently put into my collection and keep it forever. Typically, my collection pieces, I don't use or rarely use them. So for me, this is an ideal daily carry. This is an ideal daily user. But this isn't something that would be like part of my collection, right? It would just be a knife that I owned. So my question for you is this something that would find its way into your collection, or is this something that you would add to your daily carry rotation? Whatever the answer is, let me know down in the comments below. If you're interested in this knife, I will have an affiliate link in the description. I do get a kickback of some sort if you use that affiliate link. If you're going to use it, make sure you also use the discount code S7. That way you get that 10% off, okay? Overall, I've been really impressed with the brand. Faramonster is making these. Faramonster does fantastic work, very impressive stuff. So I think you can be pretty self-assured that, you're not getting a hunk of junk. You're getting a good functioning tool that also happens to be aesthetically appeasing. Other than that, I just want to say, guys, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate the love and support. Literally couldn't do this without you. And it means a tremendous amount. For those of you that come back and watch the videos and comment and, things like that, it all helps the channel out. So I appreciate you guys very much. And until the next time, peace.